A Trump tariff war is becoming something far more dangerous. What began with economic threats is now spiraling toward armed confrontation. A bold warning from China to the United States has turned global tension into a ticking time bomb, and the world watches with bated breath. It began with a statement: sharp, cold, unmistakable. From the halls of Beijing's most powerful chambers, a bold warning echoed across the Pacific. Directed at Washington, it was not just a diplomatic note, it was a line in the sand, one that could redraw the global balance forever. In the shadow of intensifying military drills, trade restrictions, and global alliances teetering on the edge, China's message was clear: enough is enough. The dragon is no longer watching, it's preparing to strike back. What triggered this warning? What does Beijing want? And more importantly, what happens next? Stay with us, because what you're about to hear may change the way you see the world. Before we begin, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, because what you're about to hear might just change everything. Now, let's break it down. The warning that shook Washington. On March 14, 2025, the international community was jolted by a stern declaration from Beijing. China's foreign ministry spokesperson, in language devoid of its usual diplomatic niceties, delivered a message that resonated with alarming clarity across global headlines and through the corridors of power in Washington. The United States must immediately cease its provocative actions in the Taiwan Strait, the spokesperson stated, the words delivered with an unmistakable edge. Any further escalation will be met with firm and decisive countermeasures. This was no mere rhetorical flourish. Behind the carefully chosen vocabulary lay a stark and undeniable signal. China's strategic patience, tested repeatedly in recent times, had reached its absolute limit. The warning served as a direct and potent articulation of Beijing's resolve, leaving no room for misinterpretation regarding the potential consequences of continued perceived provocations in the sensitive waterway. The immediate backdrop to this severe admonishment was a series of actions by the United States that Beijing evidently viewed as significant escalations. These included a recent high-profile visit by U.S. officials to Taipei, a move consistently interpreted by Beijing as a violation of the One China principle and an endorsement of Taiwanese independence aspirations. Compounding this was the passage of a U.S. naval fleet through the disputed waters of the Taiwan Strait. An action the U.S. maintains is a demonstration of freedom of navigation, but which China regards as a deliberate challenge to its sovereignty, claims over Taiwan and the Strait. For Beijing, these combined actions constituted the crossing of a critical red line, demanding an unequivocal response. Seasoned observers of cross-strait dynamics were quick to highlight the gravity of the situation. According to political analyst Dr. Angela Kwan of the esteemed Asia-Pacific Strategic Institute, the March 14th warning represented a significant hardening of Beijing's stance. This was Beijing's most explicit threat since the 1996 Taiwan Strait crisis, Dr. Kwan noted, drawing a parallel to a previous period of intense military posturing. But this time, she cautioned, the stakes are exponentially higher. Military analysts echoed this assessment, pointing to a fundamental shift in the balance of power and China's capabilities since the mid-1990s. The 1996 crisis saw China employing missile tests and military exercises to intimidate Taiwan, but its People's Liberation Army, PLA, at the time, was still largely envisioned as a developing force with significant limitations, particularly in its naval and power projection capabilities. Today, the landscape is dramatically altered. Decades of sustained and focused modernization have transformed the PLA into a formidable, technologically advanced fighting force. Its arsenal now includes sophisticated weaponry such as hypersonic missiles, capable of striking targets with unprecedented speed and precision. Its cyber warfare units possess advanced capabilities to disrupt critical infrastructure and communications. Crucially, its navy has undergone a rapid expansion and modernization, now boasting a larger number of ships than the U.S. Navy, a symbolic and strategic milestone that underscores China's growing maritime power and its increasing ability to project force. This stark difference in military might meant that the firm and decisive countermeasures threatened on March 14, 2025, carried a weight and credibility that was simply not present nearly 3 decades prior, raising the specter of a conflict with potentially catastrophic global implications. A history of tension, a future of uncertainty. To truly grasp the volatile nature of the March 14th warning, one must delve into the complex and often fraught history that has defined U.S.-China relations for over half a century. The landmark visit by President Richard Nixon to Beijing in 1972 shattered decades of isolation and ushered in an era of engagement, initiating a delicate and intricate dance between two vastly different political and economic systems. For years, this relationship was characterized by a strategic convergence born out of a shared concern regarding Soviet expansionism, allowing for the development of trade, cultural exchanges, and tentative diplomatic ties, even as fundamental ideological differences and strategic mistrust lingered beneath the surface. It was a relationship built on a fragile foundation of carefully managed ambiguity, particularly concerning the future of Taiwan. However, the dawn of the 21st century marked a dramatic turning point, as China's economic miracle propelled it onto the global stage with unprecedented speed and scale. Its growing power and influence began to fundamentally alter the geopolitical landscape. Beijing's increased assertiveness in regional and international affairs, coupled with its rapid military modernization, prompted a significant reassessment in Washington. The initial hopes for a gradual political convergence within China as its economy liberalized gave way to a recognition of a rising strategic competitor with potentially divergent interests. This shift manifested in a new, more confrontational language of diplomacy, characterized by escalating trade disputes, the implementation of technology bans aimed at curbing China's technological ambitions, and a pronounced acceleration of military buildups and strategic realignments in the Indo-Pacific region. The era of cautious engagement had, by the 2020s, seemingly transitioned into one of overt competition. Within this evolving dynamic, the issue of Taiwan has consistently remained the most critical and potentially explosive flashpoint. The United States officially acknowledges the One China policy, recognizing the government in Beijing as the sole legal government of China. This diplomatic cornerstone, established in the joint communiques that normalized relations, deliberately leaves room for the continuation of robust unofficial relations with Taiwan. The Taiwan Relations Act of 1979 further codified the U.S. commitment to providing Taiwan with the means to defend itself, a crucial element of the delicate balancing act. Yet, as Beijing's aspirations regarding reunification have become more vocal and its military capabilities have grown, American actions, driven by domestic political considerations and a desire to signal support for Taiwan's democratic government, have increasingly been perceived by China as undermining the spirit, if not the letter, of the One China policy. In the 2 years preceding the March 2025 warning alone, the frequency and scale of U.S. interactions with Taiwan intensified. Significant arms sales, reportedly totaling billions of dollars and including advanced platforms vital for Taiwan's defense, such as fighter jets and sophisticated missile defense systems, continued to flow to the island. Simultaneously, a steady stream of visits by American lawmakers and officials, often high-profile, served as potent symbols of unwavering, albeit unofficial, support for Taipei. To Beijing, these moves transcend mere political maneuvering or symbolic gestures. They are viewed through a historical lens of national humiliation and a deep-seated imperative for territorial integrity. The unresolved status of Taiwan is intertwined with the very legitimacy of the ruling Communist Party, which regards reunification as an essential step in achieving national rejuvenation. From this perspective, U.S. arms sales empower what Beijing considers a renegade province, while official visits lend it an air of international legitimacy. These actions are not just challenges to China's territorial claims. They are perceived as direct, existential threats to national sovereignty and the long-held goal of complete national unity. This fundamental divergence in perspective, coupled with the increased military capabilities now at Beijing's disposal, creates a future landscape fraught with uncertainty, where miscalculation or a further escalation of provocative actions could have unpredictable and dangerous consequences. The military buildup, the Dragon and the Eagle. The chilling pronouncement from Beijing on March 14th was swiftly followed by tangible indicators of heightened readiness. Within days, commercially available satellite imagery, scrutinized by defense analysts worldwide, revealed a significant and concerning buildup of Chinese military assets along the southeastern coast, the landmass directly facing Taiwan. The imagery captured a flurry of activity. Dozens of amphibious assault ships, crucial for any potential cross-strait invasion, were observed in various ports and exercises areas. Missile brigades, potentially equipped with advanced conventional and hypersonic missiles, were seen moving into forward positions, their readiness visibly increased. And fighter jets, the sharp edge of China's modern air force, were conducting intensive night drills over the Taiwan Strait, a clear demonstration of their capability to operate in contested airspace under challenging conditions. This wasn't routine training. It was a carefully orchestrated display of force, designed to underscore the credibility of Beijing's recent warning. The response from Washington was swift and equally telling. In a move intended to signal resolve and reinforce regional stability, the United States announced the deployment of an additional carrier strike group to the Indo-Pacific region. This formidable naval formation, centered around a supercarrier and its escort ships and aircraft, represents a significant concentration of American military power. Secretary of Defense Elena Ross framed the deployment as a deterrent move, not a provocation, emphasizing that its purpose was to discourage aggression and maintain freedom of navigation in international waters. However, in the highly charged atmosphere, where every military movement is subject to intense scrutiny and interpretation, the line between deterrence and provocation appeared perilously thin. The escalating military postures on both sides of the Taiwan Strait brought into sharp focus a question that has long preoccupied strategic thinkers. How long can this delicate balance of deterrence hold before a misstep, a miscalculation, or an unforeseen incident ignites the first spark of a wider conflict? Experts and policymakers grapple with the inherent instability of such a standoff, where the proximity of forces and the intensity of rhetoric increase the risk of an unintended escalation. The potential consequences of an armed conflict over Taiwan are, by all accounts, catastrophic, extending far beyond the immediate human cost and destruction on the island itself. Studies from reputable institutions like the Rand Corporation have consistently warned of the devastating global impact. A conflict in the Taiwan Strait would not be a localized event. It would send shockwaves through the international system with unparalleled severity. The Taiwan Strait is not merely a stretch of water separating two landmasses. It is a vital artery of global trade, through which an estimated over 50% of the world's container ships pass annually. Its closure or disruption would immediately cripple international supply chains, impacting everything from consumer goods to critical industrial components. Furthermore, Taiwan is the linchpin of the global technology ecosystem, home to TSMC, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, which holds a dominant position as the world's largest and most advanced semiconductor manufacturer. These semiconductors are the brains of nearly every modern electronic device, from smartphones and computers to automobiles and advanced military systems. A war that disrupts or halts production at TSMC would decimate global supply chains, leading to shortages, soaring prices, and a potentially unprecedented economic crisis worldwide. The interdependence of the global economy means that a conflict in this single critical region carries a price tag that the world can scarcely afford to contemplate, transforming a regional dispute into a potential global catastrophe. Economic warfare. The silent missile, even as naval fleets maneuvered and missile brigades shifted position, a parallel and equally damaging conflict was already underway in the global economy. This silent war, fought with sanctions, tariffs, and trade restrictions, intensified significantly in early 2025, demonstrating that the rivalry between the two superpowers was multidimensional and deeply intertwined with their economic might. China initiated a notable escalation by implementing sweeping sanctions targeting key American technology firms. These measures were designed to disrupt critical U.S. industries, particularly by curtailing access to rare earth materials. These materials are indispensable components in a vast array of modern products, ranging from everyday smartphones and electric vehicles to sophisticated military hardware like precision-guided missiles and fighter jets. By leveraging its dominant position in rare earth production and processing, Beijing demonstrated its willingness to use economic dependencies as a strategic weapon. The United States swiftly retaliated, blacklisting several prominent Chinese artificial intelligence firms. Citing national security risks, Washington's actions aimed to hobble China's advancements in a crucial future technology sector, reflecting concerns about the potential military and surveillance applications of AI. This move, in turn, was viewed by Beijing as an attempt to stifle its technological rise and maintain American hegemony. This cycle of retaliation and counter-retaliation created a dangerous tit-for-tat spiral, further entangling the world's two largest economies in a damaging process of decoupling. International bodies watched with growing apprehension. The International Monetary Fund issued a stark warning, projecting a potential impact of $3.5 trillion on global GDP if this economic fragmentation continued unabated. The financial markets reacted with predictable volatility. Wall Street experienced dips, and the exchange rates between the Chinese yuan and the US dollar fluctuated wildly, reflecting investor jitteriness and uncertainty. The most direct impact, however, fell upon ordinary citizens around the globe. Families and workers facing the reality of higher prices for goods and services as supply chains are disrupted and the costs of this economic collision are passed down to consumers. Trump's tariff shock. A trade war escalates. In a move that sent tremors through global markets, former President Donald Trump, now a leading figure in the 2024 U.S. presidential race, announced a proposed 245% tariff on all Chinese imports. Described by his team as the economic firewall to defend American industries, this unprecedented tariff would effectively price Chinese goods out of the American market. Beijing responded furiously, labeling it economic aggression and promising serious retaliatory measures. Analysts predict it could trigger an all-out trade war unseen in modern history. Already, Chinese e-commerce giants and tech exporters are seeing orders freeze. American retailers warn of sharp price hikes. And economists forecast millions of lost jobs on both sides. The question is no longer if decoupling is happening. It's how fast, how painful, and how irreversible it will be. Global response. The world takes sides. In Europe, leaders urge caution. In the Middle East, silence. In Southeast Asia, panic. NATO issued a statement calling for de-escalation, while Japan and South Korea have quietly increased their own military readiness. India, long walking a tightrope between East and West, faces renewed pressure to choose a side. Russia, ever opportunistic, has voiced support for China's sovereign right to reunify with Taiwan. It's a geopolitical chessboard, and every move matters. According to Professor Johann Meyer, a geopolitical strategist in Berlin, this isn't just a US-China issue. It's the defining struggle of our era. A new Cold War, with the very real risk of going hot. What happens next? Scenario 1, diplomatic cooling. Back-channel negotiations through Switzerland or the UN lead to a quiet de-escalation. Both sides save face. Military units are withdrawn. Sanctions eased. A fragile peace returns, for now. Scenario 2, economic decoupling. Both powers double down on separation. Two economic systems emerge. Trade barriers harden. Alliances shift. The world economy slows, but war is averted. Scenario 3, conflict. Miscalculation, a missile, an invasion. What begins as a skirmish over Taiwan spirals into full-scale warfare. Cyber attacks black out cities. Satellites fall. Aircraft carriers burn. And the world changes forever. Each scenario is possible. Each one has its costs. And in the quiet rooms of Washington and Beijing, the decisions being made now will echo for generations. This is not fiction. This is our reality. China has drawn its line. America has made its moves, and the world holds its breath. Whether the future is war or peace, confrontation or cooperation, depends not only on leaders in suits and uniforms, but on the choices we make as nations, as people, and as a global community. Stay informed, stay aware, and stay ready. If this news got you thinking, if the tension, the stakes, and what could happen next felt real, then help us keep covering important geopolitical developments like this. Like the video, leave a comment to share your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. The world is changing fast, and what happens next is something we should all be paying attention to.